Welcome to the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast, where we help you take the next step in your fantasy journey. Here's your host, Jake.
Welcome back, everyone. Adam is making the money sign for some reason right when we hit start. I love that. Welcome back to Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Jake, once again, and I'm joined by my friend Jordan. Jordan, how you doing?
Wonderful.
Okay.
NFC North.
NFC, the division, the best division in football.
Uh-huh.
And we're also once again joined by the coach himself, Adam. Adam, how you doing?
Good. Just happy to be here, happy to talk football, and happy to talk about a division I know too much about just because of where I live.
Mm-hmm. You're a lucky man to live here.
Yeah.
You're a lucky man.
Your second favorite team is the Packers, right?
It's true, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Game every year, so that's all right.
All right. Well, we are working our way through these division breakdowns. We just finished the AFC, so all four divisions there. Make sure to go back and watch them if you want, if you can. The support is very helpful. But we're on to the NFC, and we're starting with the NFC North. But before we get too hard in there, Jordan, do you have any news?
Yes. Only if Adam.
Jordan, with the news.
All right, thank you, Adam.
Adam and his great connection is just fantastic.
It's always a little sketchy, but we're here for it.
Plugging again?
Always,
Oh, no.
always.
One small piece of just news that's kind of hot off the press here. Trevor Lawrence signs a 5-year, $275 million extension with the Jags. I think we were all expecting him to get paid, so good for him. Get your money. Snaps for Trevor Lawrence. The news I really want to talk about is Aaron Rodgers is a no-show to camp here to start. So, boys, what do you think about that? Apparently,
He
it's excused.
took a trip that was pre-planned.
Apparently, it's excused. Some people say it's not.
I don't get it because I can't just take a pre-planned date. Listen, this fall, even though I'm supposed to coach a game August 18th, I'm just going to take a pre-planned trip and be like, sorry, guys, I was in the Maldives. I'm sorry, but it was pre-planned. That's not how life works, Aaron. That's how I feel.
So, multiple problems here. One, Adam is not going to the Maldives. That's not happening.
If you could go to the Maldives, you should skip your game.
I'm gonna be honest. You should go, Adam. Number two.
That's true.
This guy is okay. We've talked about Aaron Rodgers a lot. He is such a. Had to stop myself
Jake.
before I. This is a children's show. He is such a phony. Right. End of the year press conference, this guy's like, you know what, if it's not football related, let it go. We're not messing with it. And the first thing he does, he said, you know what, I got two things planned. And he said, and the football thing, that's less important. It's not like this guy's having a baby. Or getting married.
No.
Or anything. He's just right back to where he was. Just
if you're a Jets fan,
we're going to find out what it is, and it's going to be something
stupid.
Silly too. It's going to be something silly. It's not going to be...
If you're a Jets fan, how do you feel?
Every Packer fan is clapping. Like, ha, someone else gets the virus. As a Jet fan, you feel... As a Jet fan, you're probably making excuses for it and saying it's not that big of a deal, just like we did as Packer fans.
Yep.
But
True.
It's not what you want. Not what you want at all.
It just... do you know what I'm more sick of is that this is like a news cycle again. Like this whole offseason again, I'm going to talk about Aaron Rodgers on the Jets. And like he's played like 30 combined seconds of football for the Jets. And we're going to spend a whole other offseason talking about his shenanigans.
It's exhausting.
But don't worry, we'll be back future week, I'm sure, talking about him. This won't be the last time.
Oh, God.
Do you think it's more amplified because he's in Gotham? Or if he was on a different team, do you think it'd still be amplified?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he's in one of the biggest markets now, right? and he came from one of the smallest markets. So it doesn't make any difference where he is.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Jordan, anything else?
No.
No. I'm tired of Aaron
spent.
Rodgers.
I'm spent. I can't even talk about him anymore.
All right, Adam. we got the NFC North. Why don't you rank these teams for us? Which teams do you hate the least first?
Hate the least. Okay.
So which one do you like the most?
I hate
that might
the
be a better way
Lions
to
the
say it
least.
than hate the least.
So fine, yeah. So fine. I like the Lions the most because their fan base has been to hell and back over and over and over again, and they deserve some
Wrong.
love, which I'll get into later.
Oh,
They call me a
anyway.
bum.
we'll talk
Call me
about
bum.
that.
Second team that I like.
Well,
the
I don't
most,
care.
guess,
I don't
is
care.
the
We're starting
Packers.
with the Lions. We're starting with the Lions. Let's do it. Oh no.
All right.
Oh no. I have the. Why don't you keep talking? I'll get the Lions.
You have the wrong graphic.
Wrong graphic in here.
All right. Well,
Oh,
I'll tell a
geez
story.
Louise.
I'll tell a story about the Lions. I think I've told this before, but I'm going to tell it again because, Adam, I was with you. I was like, obviously I'm a Packer fan. It's hometown team, but the Lions, I was like, I got no beef with the Lions. I love the Lions.
They're great
Like,
guys.
they're great. I got nothing but I just hope for the best. Like when they did well last year, I was excited for them. I wasn't even that mad when they kicked the Packers, the year prior in that game, and then the Packers ended up not making playoffs. I was like, good win for the Lions. Like, it hurts me, but I'm okay with it. Then we go to Detroit for the draft. Lions fans were heckling me the whole time. One of them said my shoe was untied, so I looked down. It wasn't untied, and he goes, "Ha, you bum! Don't be a Packer fan." So now I got a problem with the Lions.
Oh,
And-
That's pretty funny though. That's funny they did
we
that.
died. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it would have been funny too if it was you, Jake. I would have laughed.
So
Anyway,
at
all
their
that
quarterback, they got Jared Goff. Finished quarterback 7 last year. He's currently being drafted as quarterback 13 and 11th round, right where he should be in my eyes. The people of Detroit during the draft, listen, they were great hosts. Great hosts. Detroit was a fun time to be. It's a thing that I don't think the rest of the world knows, that they all get up there and start chanting, Jared Goff, Jared Goff. And listen, I'm happy for Jared Goff because the Rams did him dirty. But it's a weird flex to get to, be flexing the most mid quarterback of them all.
Whoa. QB7, Jake.
Okay, all right.
NFC
He's mid,
Championship
and you
game.
know it.
To be fair, how many NFC Championship games did Matt Stafford get them to?
That's different. Those teams were terrible.
I'm just saying.
Hey, Matt Stafford, Hall of Fame?
No,
No.
not yet.
All right, we'll see. But
We can debate that a different time. When we get to the NFC West, we'll debate that because I got opinions. Yeah.
all right. So do we like him going as quarterback 13, 11th round? Do we like that?
That's great
I
value.
love it.
No,
'cause
they
he's
love
got
it.
the weapons. Yeah, he's got the weapons to be successful. I think going that far back, that's a steal in my eyes. So.
He's those quarterbacks that I'm targeting. 11th round QB, I want them. Those are those we talk about that sitting and waiting on quarterbacks. He's going as QB 13, could get you into the top 10. He showed it last year. All of his weapons are returning. I love Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield. There's nothing not to like about Jared Goff. I think you're right, Jake. I think he is properly ranked. Be outside the top 10, but kind of has that upside potential. So I like it.
Okay, all right, let's keep it moving. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, finished running back 10 last year. Currently going as running back 4, high second round right now, 2.2. Guys going around him. Jordan.
Around Saquon?
Yeah.
Or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Or Jahmyr Gibbs, yep.
He is sitting around. A.J. Brown and Garrett Wilson are going before him. Jonathan Taylor and Saquon are going after him.
Okay, and running back going ahead of him would be Bijan and Hall. So I think that's right where he needs to be. So I don't hate it. I think this is the year where we're going to see a lot of receivers taken high. But if you're in the back half of the second round, I don't hate taking Garrett Wilson at the 110 or 1-8. Who's going to 1-8 right now, Jordan?
1-8. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Okay, he's just taking St. Brown and Gibbs. That'd be interesting. I don't know if I'm doing that, but taking a receiver at 1-8 and then taking around and taking Gibbs, with as your running back 1. Do you guys see a big jump from him this year?
I do. I mean, he showed so much potential last year that he's involved in the receiving game. He can hit big runs. I just think that's a great spot for him because his potential's so high. Now he could be a bust second year. We don't know. But I have high hopes for him.
Doesn't David Montgomery freak you out though?
Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't we concerned?
Touchdown wise, yeah.
So do we think David Montgomery's stock is down significantly if Jahmyr Gibbs is up?
I mean, that's
They're
how
both top 10
that's how
last
he's
year.
being drafted. Both top 10, but we got Montgomery going at 8-7, running back 22. So, like, do you guys, like, if you had to bet your house, do you think this is still a timeshare this year, or do you think one of them or Gibbs most likely would take this over?
I'll bet my apartment that it's a timeshare the first part of the season.
Okay.
The problem is David Montgomery did nothing last year to make you think that he's going to lose that job.
That's the part
Like,
that
he was awesome.
Yeah, like
so that's the hard part. It's not like the young guy like took it and David Montgomery was playing poorly. Like, David Montgomery was awesome. I don't know what. So
yeah, I mean, there's definitely a bit of a risk there, I would say though, because Montgomery will take carries, which is not exactly what you want out of your first running back. Because I mean, if you think that the running backs around him, obviously CMC, Bijan, Hall, and then even Taylor and Barkley, no one's really taking carries away from them, right? But in this case, Gibbs would be. So for me, it's a bit of a risk. If I'm drafting 1-8 and I'm late in the first round, I'm probably going to end up going receiver, honestly. So, but we'll see. So
I gotta book it.
All right, do it.
I think Detroit has 2 running backs with 10 touchdowns again next year.
That's a good one.
They did it last year. I think they both have 10 touchdowns again. You can book it.
Book
I think
it.
they're both great.
Book
I think
it.
they're both great.
We need to get an audio for every time we book it. It just goes, book it.
Just you can do it, Jake.
Book it.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Receivers wise, we got Amon-Ra St. Brown, finished wide receiver 3, being drafted as wide receiver 5 right now. 1,500 yards and 10 tutties. Does he replicate that? That's a big question. He's in that tier right under Jefferson, Chase, Hill, and help me, I'm blanking on someone.
CD.
So I mean, does he belong in that tier? Adam.
I'm gonna book it.
All right.
He had more yards and more touchdowns than he did last year.
Wow.
You can book it.
He's gotta prove himself on that contract, right? That's my thinking.
No, I mean, yeah, I think it's certainly possible. I do like he's a first round receiver, and I think that's right. Like if I had to pick, obviously I'm taking Brown over like AJ Brown or something like that, especially in PPR because that guy just eats catches. So no problems with that one either. Let's go
They
to.
didn't add anyone.
No.
That makes me concerned that they're not going to give him 100 receptions again.
Which then leads us nicely into wide receiver 2. We got Jameson Williams right now. They're liking him. Adam, I'll let you talk on him because you love some Jameson Williams. 11th round ADP.
I do. Yeah, that's perfect for him. I mean, his ceiling is so high. I think he's a potential guy, right? So he could have great numbers, or he could gamble on some sports and mess up again. We don't know because I have a fetish for receivers that mess up. I think he's in the season. His route running and his speed is really good. But again, unproven. Who knows? We don't know.
So you like him in the 11th then?
Yeah, I think it's a good spot. Could be a steal, honestly.
Yeah, the upside's there.
Too high.
Oh, it's too high.
It's too high.
Tell us
He's
why.
never done anything to prove that. He had an injured year. Then he came back and he caught like one catch. His whole season stats was like 1 catch for 70 yards and a touchdown. And then last year he was just like he had like gambling suspension, and then he was just kind of fine. Like I think it's John Ross. You just love the speed, you love the talent. You're like, oh, this could work, and I've never seen it once. So you're right, you could, but like I don't see it. Sam Laporta we can talk about him next. He's the guy. He's number 2 in that offense, and they run so much. Like he's fine. I'm not going to take him in the 11.
Jordan, why don't you talk about Sam Laporta?
He's amazing.
Great. All right, cool.
He should go as tight end 1. He's the new. I hate to compare because Travis Kelce has such like a storied long career and Hall of Fame career and stuff like that. But he's like the new tight end that fits that mold of like you would take him early.
Well, you're taking him 3.6
He's
if
getting
you want.
100. He's getting 100. More than 100 targets. Like he is a pass catching tight end. He's what we hoped Kyle Pitts would do, and just didn't. So I like him. He's going as tight end 1, 3rd round. My only I like him as a player. I don't like him in the 3rd round. I wouldn't take him. I'm not going to, at least. But when I look at the Lions' offense, he's the second. He's the second pass catcher.
Adam, would you take him at 3.6?
Yeah.
What? Try that again.
I was looking for potential. Sucker for potential, I guess. So.
Sucker for potential. I think that's what Adam tried to say through all that. He gives the thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not taking him in 3rd round, but I get it. If you want a tight end, that's the one you're probably going to take first. Adam, who do you hate second to last?
The Green Bay Packers.
It's about time. It's about time that we talk about America's team. America's team. Jordan Love, our Lord and Savior. He finished as quarterback 5 last year, which is shocking.
Yeah, with all those rushing yards, that huge rushing.
Okay.
Jordan Love.
4 tutties.
Yeah, really high.
I said 500 yards was the book it or something like that.
Yeah, which
he finished with half.
Yeah, half.
32 touchdowns.
You were 50% right. That's an F, Jake.
No, I'll take it.
All right.
Finishes quarterback 5, being drafted as quarterback 9, though, going in the 8th round. So right above that tier of guys we talked about that are going in the 10th, the Tuas, the stuff like that. Jordan, what are your thoughts? What do you think? You like it? You don't like it? What are we feeling?
As a Packer fan, I love Jordan Love. In fantasy football, is he a top 10 quarterback? I think he'll finish as QB 10. Like that is where I'm putting him.
So you don't think he replicates what he did?
He's a great player. I think his receivers take a step forward. But do you think he's going to repeat a 4,000-yard, 30-touchdown season?
I think he certainly could.
I mean, he could, of course. But, like, when we're thinking about the other quarterbacks that are kind of going around him, is that when I'll tell you who it is.
My thought is, why can't he? Like, you're implying that he probably won't, but why can't he? Nothing has changed. Right?
Just another year in the system.
Yeah, and his receivers are all the same. The only thing that's changed is you have Josh Jacobs instead of Aaron Jones.
All right, let me hit you with some of these. Would you rather have Anthony Richardson or Jordan Love?
Richardson only because of the rushing upside, though.
Would you rather have Dak or Jordan Love?
Give me Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love over Dak. What about Joe Burrow?
I probably want Joe Burrow.
What about Kyler?
Jordan Love.
Okay, so you're kind of sitting them right there. The ADPs right now are Richardson, Dak, Love, Burrow, Murray. So you kind of shift that around a little, but you still put Jordan Love kind of in the middle there.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the upside's huge.
The
upside's huge, and that's attractive. It's like Richardson. Like you like looking, it's like wow. Like, but with versus Richardson, I've seen it with Jordan Love. So.
All right. Go ahead, Adam.
I'm nervous. Can he do it twice?
I'd like to book. Look, he's not going to have 30 touchdown passes this year.
You're booking that.
Ooh, hot take. Okay.
Well, hey, if you remember, Adam came in last year and we were like, Jordan Love, he could be okay. And Adam's like, book it. He'll be a top 10. He's going to have 30 touchdowns. He'll make it. Like, he was all in. I think you nailed that. I think you said he'd missed the playoffs, and that was the only thing you missed on your book it. last year. So
Yep.
I think I trust Adam on Jordan Love's radar here. I'm writing it down.
All right.
Keep moving.
Let's talk receivers quick. We got Jalen Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, going respectively 7th round, 9th round, 13th round. Which one of those three would you say is the one to own? Love the long pause. Really, really jumping in there, guys.
Who
I
are you
appreciate
asking,
that.
Jake?
One
You're
of
the
you.
host,
I don't
John.
know. Just talk.
You gotta.
God bless America.
Like
I
Reed.
think no. Forget
I like
it.
Reed better than Watson.
I 100% think it's Reed. The 8 touchdowns is fantastic. Offers a little rushing upside as well, which is something you typically don't see out of a receiver. They seem to really have a rapport, Jordan Love and Jalen Reed. In the 7th, a little high for me. Little high. But I think he finishes wide receiver 18, so he's wide receiver 2. I think that is his floor is wide receiver 2. I really like him this year. I want nothing to do with Watson. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and here's a hot take. I think Christian Watson is trending towards having an MVS type of career. So
Okay.
I really not a fan of Christian Watson. So, though I will say as well, Romeo Doubs does offer some really good value at round 13 too.
And then the other guy that's even getting like in the 15th right now is Dontavian Wicks. Like the 4 Packers wide receivers are potentially taken in, that 15th. Yeah, chances that he goes undrafted are kind of there, but there's a possibility of a 4th one there. So I'm most excited
I like
about Jayden
Wicks'
Reed.
upside over Watson.
Yeah, I think of all of these, the ADP I love is Dobbs in the 13th.
Yeah, Jamie in the chat says Dobbs sucks. That's wrong. He does not
What?
suck. Have you ever watched him? We're sounding like homers right now, but he's not bad. He doesn't suck. Fantasy wise, maybe isn't flashy. I'll acknowledge that. Football
He
wise,
was a wide receiver 4 last year.
Yeah, football wise.
Yeah. But Jayden Reed, he's the one I'm most excited about as like a player. But he's unknown too. That's a lot of unknown. Yeah.
Moving on, so we got Josh Jacobs there now. Sorry, we're laughing because Adam is letting the chat know he's got 27 minutes of battery left in his computer before it dies.
We got to pick up the pace.
Oh no!
Come
All right, Josh Jacobs, new running back, finishes running back 13. Was not the year you wanted out of him. If you remember, he held out going into preseason. It was a big thing. Currently going in the 4th round ADP. Adam, yes or no? You like him as your running back 1, essentially.
I do.
Okay.
I think he's hungry. I think he's motivated since he got off of Las Vegas. I think he's just in a better system with a better coach, better team overall, and I think he's going to have a heck of a year.
Jordan.
Great. Agreed. I love it.
Would you hate taking receiver to start your draft and then taking Jacobs as your running back 1?
No.
I think that'd be really great. I like that.
Yeah, if you're well, hang on. Let me tell you what that math actually equates to here. All right.
Sure.
That would be a team of Josh Jacobs, Michael Pittman, Marvin Harrison, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't
No,
hate
that's
that
awesome.
a little. So anyways, we're high on Josh Jacobs. I think what you're noticing is we're high on everybody on the Packers. But
I'm trying my best. See, I'm trying my best not to be a homer and like temper my expectations a little bit. That like, hey, if we could get similar production, I don't want to set myself up for like disappointment. You had a quarterback 5. You had Jayden Reed, who was a wide receiver 2. And I'm just trying to say, like, if you get something similar, that's a successful year.
Yeah.
Jordan Love is at QB 10. Jayden Reed finishes wide receiver 15. And you get one other wide receiver that's, like, fantasy playable. Like, and Josh Jacobs does well. Like, that's an awesome season. But the way we're hyping it up is we're setting ourselves up for disappointment if the Packers are an all-time offense.
agreed.
And so I'm just trying to be realistic. Like, all of these guys are good. Don't overpay for them. That's my point about the Packers.
All right, let's move on to the team. Adam, who are we doing next?
Well, you missed.
Luke
end.
Musgraves, I don't
Luke
care.
Musgrave.
I really don't care very much. 15th round, sure, whatever.
No.
Take him as your backup.
Yep. Let's go the Bears.
All right. Starting off, we got the big draft pick, Caleb Williams. Currently has a ADP of 11th round, so he's right in that same range of Tua and Kirk and that area. Yes or no, Caleb Williams lives up to the hype this year? Adam. Okay.
What's the hype, Jake?
I don't
What's the
think
hype?
he
Oh, there's the
does.
hype.
No, I mean, like, what does that mean?
It means he's a quarterback 1 or a very high quarterback 2.
Okay. Adam, you say
Okay,
no.
so I don't think he does. No, I think he's going to go through a growing year. I think the expectations are just way too high for him. He's got a lot of hatred on social media because he paints his nails. I don't care if he paints his pink, gold, black, whatever. If he's winning games, no one's. However, dude, the expectations are a little too high for him.
All right.
All
All right, reading through
we
the
talked a little
static.
bit
Hold
about-
on. Reading through the static. He don't care if you paint your nails any color.
Yeah.
He don't care if it's red, blue, green, or yellow. Doesn't matter. I think the expectations might be a bit too high. It's going to take a year to really see that. Next year we could really take him skyrocketing up. And I kind of agree with that.
Would you rather have the quarterback going right after him is Jared Goff? Who would you rather have?
I'd rather have Jared Goff.
Okay, both in the 11th round. So you'd say I'm taking Jared Goff over Caleb Williams.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Running back, new running back DeAndre Swift finishes running back 23. He got an 8th round ADP. I kind of really like that. He had a pretty good year. I mean, he had 1260 something yards. But you got to remember, he was a victim of the tush push.
Yep.
So, assuming you stay healthy, I mean, this is one of the first years where he was healthy for a majority of the year. Do you think he outproduces? I mean, he's a high running back 3 is what he's being drafted as. I think he could.
1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Like, you don't think he could do that again in Chicago?
I
think he
100% think he can.
Yeah.
So I really like that ADP getting a starting running back in the 8th round, one with upside as well. So.
Yep.
And then receivers, we got DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze. Let's just start with the Dunze. I don't see it fantasy-wise being, barring injury, being very fruitful just because he's 3rd in the depth chart. A 10th round ADP, no thank you. Let someone else do that. They all both my co-hosts shook their head in agreement. So,
You know, Jake, not to criticize your hosting, but you got to kind of kick it to us. Like, give us a little, like, what are your thoughts on that, Jordan? Adam, otherwise I stare at
we're throwing
staticky
hands. Staticky Adam. I love that.
Yeah.
He's just
All right,
getting
here we go.
quiet now.
I got questions for you though.
Yeah.
Christian Watson is going ahead of Roma Dunze. Who would you rather have?
Watson.
What about Xavier Worthy?
Adam?
Worthy.
I would also rather have Worthy.
What about Jordan Addison?
Oh, Addison, 100%.
Last one, Lad McConkey. Or Roma Dunze.
Odunze.
Oh my god, no! Boo! It's Lad McConkey. Put some respect on the name. DJ Moore in the
I hope
3rd.
he fails just because of how much you love him.
Okay, that's just rude. Jamie in the chat says you're going to get the Bears starting running back in the 17th round. Roshan Johnson is not going to be the starting guy, barring injury. But he does have a pretty good handcuff in that situation. DJ Moore in the 3-8. I love DJ Moore. I really do. I mean, makes lots of catches, lots of touchdowns, lots of yards. Jordan, you love him too as well, right?
Yeah, I mean he finished as in the top 10 with whoever was throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
Tyson. What's his name?
Tyson, or I can't remember, but yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Bagent.
Justin Fields is in and out. Yeah, in and out. So I like a wide receiver 17 ADP for someone who has
Wide receiver 1 numbers.
correct.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Keenan Allen's there, Roma Dunze, there's other pass catchers there, but I'm just saying like he did it with almost nothing there, and so I think his ADP late 3rd is great. I like it.
For sure. And then Adam, thoughts on Keenan Allen? Let's try to get it out.
So Keenan Allen, I like him a lot. He's getting old. It's about time that he turns 30. It seems like he's been in the league forever. Um, I think he's going to be the number 2.
Guys, there's not much we can do about it, guys. Adam's just having a hard time.
Not going to work out.
He likes Keenan Allen. We like Keenan Allen too. Adam, we got to get you with an Ethernet cord to just plug right into your laptop. I think that's the problem. That would do you wonders.
Yep.
I do want to say I don't love Keenan Allen in the 5th.
Nope.
No. 32. You know how I feel about wide receivers over the age of 30. They ain't going to get you 1,500 yards. Not going to happen.
So, I think the health freaks us out as well.
Yep.
Staying healthy. But the receiver itself, I like him. I don't think he brings back wide receiver 11 in numbers this year, though.
No. 108 receptions? No way.
Not a chance. And then we got Cole Kmet, tight end 7, being in the 14th round. Sure. I like the upside there.
He's a tight end I will probably end up having on my team.
Yeah.
14th round, like end of the draft, and you need to take your tight end. I'm taking.
All right, great. We love some Cole Kmet. Let's talk about the Vikings, who apparently we hate. Oh no, the graphics wrong. Keep talking, but there we go. The Vikings. So we're gonna start with quarterback JJ McCarthy, currently going in the 19th round. I don't think many people are gonna draft him to start on your team.
No, and
this is a crime. This is a crime.
Okay.
Oh.
Because Darnold will start the year for at least half the season. Darnold's going to be in there.
Book it. Come on.
I'm going to book it that
Until
Sam
when?
Darnold starts over half the season.
You can book it. Yeah. I still don't think you want to start either of them, for being honest, though.
Yeah, the official when the graphics department was putting this together, the interns gave me a call and they said, "Hey Jordan, what do we do?" Sam Darnold's listed on the depth chart as the starter, but ADP wise, people are taking JJ McCarthy over Sam Darnold.
Oop, and there it was. There it was.
Down.
We lost him. The battery is down, but we're ready. Jordan, back up a little. Your head's really big in this, but for a little behind the scenes action for you guys, when someone leaves the recording, it really messes things up.
Hey, that's all right. We're happy to have Adam for
it's
as much
all right.
as we can have him.
So we're probably not taking JJ McCarthy right now. If you want to take him as your quarterback 3 just for the possible upside, fine. That's kind of where I'm at with a lot of these, your Bo Nicks. If you're in the 3rd to last round, right, before you take your kicker in defense, because you should always wait, and we'll talk about that later. But, and you have no one that you're like, man, I really want this guy. If you're debating between JJ McCarthy and, a backup tight end that you don't really care about, take McCarthy for the upside. You never know, right? They got new running back Aaron Jones, finished running back 36. He was hurt a lot of last year. Going as running back 18 in the 7th round, because the Vikings only ever just steal the Packers players, because that's just what happens. I don't really love it, and I think the biggest part I don't like is he just cannot stay healthy. He just can't stay healthy. Did you know, by the way, that the Packers had 4 rushing touchdowns from their running backs last year? That's bonkers. That's bonkers. He only had 2 out of Aaron Jones. He had 3 in that playoff game, though. But if he's healthy, yes, he produces well. He should be able to give some decent numbers. Some running back 1 weeks. But on the flip side, he hasn't been able to carry that weight for a while. So
he's injured, and he's going to a worse offense. And we're expecting to get like twice as much production out of him. That's bold. And not saying it can't happen. The talent's there. I'm just it's that risk for me is not worth it. There are some places that I'm like, hey, the risk is worth it. Let's do it. But this is one of those that it's like,
give me
you're going to a
DeAndre
worse
Swift.
Situation. You're going to a worse
Yeah.
situation, and he's getting drafted like he's going to double all of his production, and I don't see
No,
that.
thank you. Give me DeAndre Swift a round later.
Yeah,
Younger,
that's a great way to think about it. Yep.
you know, and like, yeah, he has injury. In that area, you're dealing constantly with people who possibly or do have injuries, like
Yeah.
injury history. But give me the younger guy. I mean, a guy coming off playing an entire healthy year as well. So,
Ramondre Stevenson, Najee, Alvin Kamara.
oh,
Like
I'd take
around him.
all three of them.
Okay, that really.
I think
answers that
it-
question.
I think
You
it's-
push Aaron Jones down a whole round.
Yeah, I think it's easily it's easily Najee. It's easily Kamara. And then I'd still take Ramondre Stevenson, but I think that's a little closer. But
And Najee's ADP is the lowest of all of those guys.
oh my gosh, we've talked
You're
about
gonna
that.
get so much Najee in all.
I'm
your
gonna
leagues.
get so much Najee. It's gonna be ridiculous. Receivers, we got Justin Jefferson going 1-5. We don't need to talk about that. Even with whoever's their quarterback, it doesn't really matter. He's a monster. I'm not worried about health because this is the first year he really dealt with anything. And
And some of it too was it was a lost season, so like
Yeah.
why rush yourself back? Like I agree.
yeah, so we're not going to harp on that. It's just like Amon-Ra. Those are the first round receivers. Take them. Feel fine about it. Do it absolutely. Jordan Addison going as that can't be right. Can you recheck that while I talk about the flex player Ty Chandler, who's right now running back 44, being taken in the 15th round? Sure, as a handcuff to Aaron Jones, I like it. If in the 15th, sure, give it a shot. But you're not taking him as your. He finished as running back 44 and is being drafted as running back 44. So
Great.
it's fine.
That one's like a handcuff if you take
Yeah.
Aaron Jones early to make sure you have a backup if
Agreed.
and when.
Can you
Aaron Jones
confirm the Jordan Addison?
Correct. Yes. Are you too high on him? You think that's too high?
He
What's
is.
your-
I understand that they didn't have Justin Jefferson last year, so the target share was pretty high. Finishes wide receiver 19, being taken in the 9th round as wide receiver 40 sounds criminal.
Well,
Don't do that.
nah,
He can.
that's the right spot.
He
for
is
him.
not. He's being drafted as the last tight end or a wide receiver 4 on your team.
Yeah.
No, that is a wide receiver, a high-end wide receiver 3 with wide receiver 2 numbers.
Whoa. You think he's gonna catch 10 touchdowns again?
It's certainly possible. Why can't he?
Who's throwing him the ball?
Apparently, Sam Darnold.
You think Sam Darnold is gonna give Justin Jefferson? Don't worry about him. He'll have the same numbers and give 10 touchdowns to Jordan Addison. You think Sam Darnold's gonna?
You think he's a
sling
wide
40
receiver
touchdowns this year?
40? There are 40 other guys you'd rather have.
Yeah. Yeah, and this you're making it sound like I don't like Jordan Addison. I love Jordan Addison. You're taking him in the 5th.
No, probably not. But I think the
Where
upset.
are you taking him then?
I don't know. But I'm just saying that 9th round wide receiver 40 is not where he should be going.
All right. Let's put him somewhere, Jake. Because I gotta know.
We're gonna make a separate video, and all I'm gonna do is name receivers, 39 of them, and you better say yes to all of them.
No, here it goes. T. Higgins or Jordan Addison.
Is T Higgins playing?
T. Higgins is playing. Yes.
Yeah, I'll take T Higgins.
Christian Kirk.
I do like
Christian Kirk. You're putting Jordan Addison above Christian Kirk.
All right.
Christian Kirk, who's a wide receiver 1, Trevor Lawrence throwing him the ball, and then Sam Darnold maybe.
Okay, you know what? We don't. I just.
Man, you're making it sound like I hate Jordan Addison.
You
This
think
is
this
great.
is the right spot
Yes.
where he finishes? You think he finishes right around wide receiver 40 this upcoming year?
The reason I like him here is because he could still, he's.
Oh no,
he's
I
a flex
love
play
the
week to
ADP.
week.
I
He's
love
a
the
flex play
ADP.
week to week. That is where he should be. Is
No.
I'm checking the matchups. He's a flex play.
That ADP rises 2 rounds by the time season starts.
All right, come on, say it.
You can book it.
That's what I like to hear. Come on.
That is
All right.
crazy to me. And let's end on TJ Hawkinson. So going in the 12th round, he's going in the 12th round because he's not probably going to be ready by week 1. If you take a wide receiver, what I would love here is if you take Njoku and then you take Hawkinson, and for your fantasy playoffs, you have Hawkinson who can help you win a championship. That's what this is. If you have a pup spot, an IR spot, grab him, throw him on there, and then just pick someone up later. right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm
Oh, you're
writing
writing. I'm
over
sorry.
here. 100% agree. I love the IR spot. The sneakiest thing you can do in fantasy, or the savviest thing you can do in fantasy, is pick up guys that are on the IR and stick them in an IR spot, especially if you're in a keeper or a dynasty or something like that. You know, you can, because those guys then you can carry them through. So I really like TJ Hawkinson. Late round, people are going to be down on him, and rightly so because he's injured. And then if you can find the space on your bench or an IR spot for him, again, back half of the year, elite tight end.
I like Hawkinson even more come August, because come August the reports will come out that he won't be ready, and those ADPs will slip farther.
Yeah,
I probably will end up with a lot of
He's going to skyrocket.
Okay. All right, that's enough. There you go, guys. That's the NFC North. Make sure if you haven't yet, go back, listen to any of those AFC ones. They're still relevant, and I keep saying that because it's only been like a few weeks.
Yep.
By the time we're done with this in 3 weeks, I bet you our first episode, the ADPs have changed, so they're not quite relevant. So support us, go check it out, hit the button, just to give us a listen wherever you listen to your podcasts. And then next week we will do the NFC East. Jordan, if that works for you.
Right, Jake? Because remember when you told me that's how clocks work?
That is how clocks work. You go that way. All right. This has been fun. Hopefully we'll get Adam figured out. He apparently lives in the middle of nowhere and has no internet there. He did manage to text us a minute ago that said his battery died with 14%.
Hey, count them all.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Got no power.
No power, and then keep an eye out here. Coming up, we will be posting some more leagues to jump into. So some redraft ones coming up, some quick ones. So that is something to keep an eye out on our Facebook page at the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. Jordan, is there anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good.
Thanks
for joining.
Yeah, Jordan, you're really gonna have to think of something. We're going to need you to think
stop
of something.
asking me.
Well,
I say the same thing every time.
Jordan,
go Broncos, go Irish, go Tigers. What else do you want me to say?
I don't want you to say anything else.
Take care, be good.
No.
Now what are you going to say?
I don't want you to say anything else. Take care, be good.
Listening to the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. Follow and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube at the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast.